Hello students, welcome to history class 12th. Student, I have given you this assignment, which first question is, how did the chiefs become the kings? What was their importance? So first of all, who were the chiefs? Student, you need to write down about the whole thing in the answer if you are asked about 3 marks or 8 marks. So students, let us go to book for answer of the first question. Let us see, there is a topic, new notions of kingship, chiefs and the king in the south. So student, new kingdoms emerged in South India. Chiefdoms of Cholas, Cheras and Pandyas in Tamilkalam, today's Tamil Nadu, you can say Andhra region and Kerala region. This was in ancient name, it was called Tamilkam. So in Tamilkam, the region of Andhra Pradesh, Kerala and Tamil Nadu, there were prosperous chiefs who had their chiefdoms. When they saw the power of kings were declining, they established their independent kingdoms. Those chiefs became the not we can say the more powerful, the powerful in the region. They declared their independent states. Like in the text Tamil Sangam, many types of or number of states are discussed in this Tamil Sangam. Mentioning of number of kings and chiefs about the South India and their chiefs and their newly formed kingdoms are discussed or mentioned in Tamil Sangam text. So this Tamil Sangam in detail we will discuss in chapter number 6. We will discuss about this Tamil Sangam. So these chiefs became the kings in South India. What was their importance? A chief is powerful man whose position may or may not be hereditary. He derives support from his kinfolk. Kinfolk means the relatives and you can say nears and dears. His function may include performing special rituals, leadership in warfare and arbitrating disputes. So all things which a king can do at the state level, they can do their chiefdom levels. He received gift from the subordinates. Unlike the king, usually collect taxes, and these chiefs had to submit their taxes to the kings, and also they had to give gifts to the kings. But the chiefs only receive gift from their subordinates. Often distribute these among the supporters. Generally there are no regular armies and official in chiefdoms. They had armies but they did not have regular armies. Time to time kings, for their security from the chiefs, time to time they disband the armies of chiefs, because if they had regular armies then they could attack the kings and they could abolish the rule of king. That was why kings did not permit to have armies in chiefdoms. But slowly and gradually they became powerful and they started having their own armies. So chiefs and kings include the Satavahanas, who ruled part of western and central India, Shakas, people of Central Asia, origin of established kingdom in northwestern and west part of South India, derived revenue from long distance trades. So Satavahanas, they started claiming themselves Satavahanas as their son of God. We will discuss about it in next question. So next question is, what is meaning of notion of divine king? Did the early ruler compare themselves with God? If yes, how? So students, let us see the book. We have a question that what is the notion of divine king? For example, like Satavahanas, once they acquired power, they attempt to claim social status in variety of ways. Means if they belong to lower caste, they did not accept that they are belong to lower caste. They claim themselves to having a relation with upper caste or having a relation with God, direct to God, or any kind of deity. In same way, notion of divine kings means claiming high status was to identify with a variety of deities. Means many people, many rulers who of ancient India or ancient time, they exemplified themselves or compare themselves with the god, or rename themselves as a son of God. In many ways they started revealing their or started telling their relation with God or variety of deities. For best example is Kushanas, who ruled over vast kingdom in Central Asia, Northwest India. Their history has been reconstructed from inscription and textual tradition. They wish to project our perhaps best evidence in their coins and sculptures. They made many building as well as sculptures in which they declare themselves as a very powerful ruler. Through in Kushana rulers, colossal means a very large statue of Kushana rulers have been found in shrine of Math and Mathura. These kind of statues are found in Afghanistan as well. They means historian studies these evidence or in kind of statues. They suggest that Kushana considered themselves godlike. Many Kushana rulers named themselves or gave themselves a title Devputra, means son of God. Means they were possibly inspired by the Chinese ruler who called themselves son of heaven. Means every king had a complex that they belong to a special family. Means they may belong to a royal family or they may belong to God's family. So in this way you can answer, students, you can answer the question of assignment, second number question. Third is, there were many perceptions about the kings. Which books contain these kind of stories about perception of king? So what is meaning of perception? Means what they understand about the king, what the people thought about the kings. So these kinds of stories were written in Panchtantra and Jatak stories. We will see some prashastis written about Gupta rulers in praise of kings in particular. These poets were the royal poets, or we can say the patron was provided by the king to these poets. It means if they are working under king and gaining their livelihood from the king, always they will say or praise the kings. That was why their poetry was always in the support of kings. Sometimes these prashastis or the poems were literally true. Many times these were not literally true, but sometimes it will be literally true. Like Prayaga Prashasti on Allahabad pillar, composed by Harisena. This poem was written by the poet Harisena, the court poet of Samudragupta. He prays about Samudragupta, the most powerful ruler of 4th century CE, the Gupta ruler. He was a powerful ruler which is mentioned in this praise of Samudragupta in this poem. He was actually he was in reality he was a powerful ruler, but sometimes poet use more than enough for praise of king. In this way, popular perception of kings were there in number 5th topic. These perceptions were mentioned in books of Jatakas and Panchtantra. A story is well-known stories about Gandatindu Jatak describe the plight of subjects of wicked king. All of you know wicked. These include elderly women and men, cultivator, herder, village boys, and even animals. When king went in disguise to find out what is his subject thought about him, each one cursed him for their miseries. So, what kind of perception the poets of the court making about their kings, and what was the reality? It was revealed when kings went to see their condition, their subjects' condition in the villages or cities. So these were perception and realities of about the kings. Next question is, kings used to become more and more powerful. That was why they were interested in increasing tax. For this, they had to increase the production. What methods were adopted by kings to increase production? So let us see the book. So student, you can find out the topic in the topic 5.2, strategies for increasing production. So agriculture was the main activity of that time. So kings did their better to increase the productivity of agricultural land. But on the other hand, the people who were living in the region of Ganga and Kaveri region in 6th century BCE, during 6th century BCE, they started using iron tip plowshare. Before that, the plow was made up of wood was used, which was not able to cultivate the alluvial soil in better way. In some places, dramatically the paddy was grown, increased, and producers increasing their production. As soon as the increase in production continued, people start living on one place. While the iron plowshare led to the growth in agriculture productivity, it was restricted to certain part of subcontinent, because in some areas there were no place for using these iron tip plow, like in hilly region where the hoe can be used. The iron tip plow was used in semi-arid region of Punjab and Rajasthan. Till 20th century they used to do this. Another strategy adopted to increase the agriculture production was irrigation, because people were dependent on the monsoons. So wells and tanks, and less commonly canal communities, as well as the individual organized the construction of irrigation work. People used to make wells and tanks, but the construction of canals were not the easy task which could be done their own level. So construction of canal was adopted by the rulers. The powerful men, including ruler, often recorded such activities in inscription. Means construction of canals was organized by the kings. So in this way they started increasing production. Next is, write a short note about the land grant in earlier times of empires. We have discussed about Prabhavati Gupta and land grants to the people or the Brahmanas. We can answer this question from the book. Let us see. So on copper plates, the records of land grants were there. These were given to Brahmanas or institutions to gain support from the religious communities. Women were not allowed to have their land grants and their property share, but there were an exception, like Prabhavati Gupta, daughter of one of the most important ruler in Chandragupta period, and she married to Vaktakas who were powerful in Deccan. So according to Sanskrit text, the people who could have land grants, these were Brahmanas. Women could not have land grants, but in case of royal families, the land grants could be done. So these were the questions we have discussed. You can read this para and answer the question point by point. So student, read this chapter and answer these questions. Thank you.